Hello and welcome to the Terminus podcast. This is episode number 99 for the weeks of May 19th, 2018.
We're going to be partying like it's 99.
We're going to party like it's episode 99. Like it's 1699. Actually, we don't have 1699 with us right now because Jader is away. But anyway, on that note, I'm your dispatcher Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me I have Wybold, Milky, and Dean the Lalp.
Hi.
Whoa!
And with us, our brakeman returning after a great long hiatus is Kavan.
Hello.
Hiatus.
But before my voice gives out, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, this week we are in Branchwood Valley in the Garez mod. We're presumably looking at some things. I don't have it pulled up right now. I'm reading through a couple things. We're in a tunnel. It's dark!
Anyway.
Everybody hold your breath.
I cannot see for now.
We're still in the tunnel. Anyway.
I may not see.
What are you doing? You aren't supposed to breathe in the tunnels. Come on.
It's okay. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
This week we had 3 derailments, which is not that many. Congratulations.
Oh.
Congratulations, railroads. You didn't F it up that badly this time. Also, I forgot to make a, Wait, where's the cargoes from last time? Oh, I named it incorrectly. Hold on one second. I need to fix some things. But the first one is from Norfolk Southern. Several train cars derailed in Suffolk, Virginia. And, yeah, it was double stacks. No injuries, nothing exploded. Kind of boring. NS, keep not, I don't know. NS get good, because we need somebody else to take the mantle.
Good.
We need somebody that isn't Casey has to have the mantle, spoiler alert. The other two are surprising nobody CSX. And the first one was in Newport News, which was a CSX locomotive colliding with a loaded coal train. Minor fuel spill, no one hurt, no hazardous materials. Locomotive hit the stopped cars, and then there was a derailment, and
death.
Yeah. It's kind of a mess, actually. It sort of looks like... I assume there was a spur in that direction, but there's this image of it, which just looks like the train sort of took a left off the main line and just drove into the bushes.
It's like the scene from Wrongfully Accused, or whatever it is.
Yes!
Or the scene from Home on the Range.
Iron's on 10%. Iron's on 10%.
And then CSX did it again in Alexandria, Virginia. Well, not the same thing, but CSX derailed 31 cars of a train and sort of smushed some together. Well, actually, wait, what? Hold on. Back up. Bridge collapsed under CSX.
Oh!
There were no passengers aboard the 167-car train. Yeah, I would hope it's a freight train.
Yeah.
Okay. No one was hurt. It's just a big pile of freight cars.
Big freaking pile of freight cars. And I just ran into a locomotive.
But anyway, yeah, so that's that. CSX did that. CSX being CSX. And let's move on to what we've done in the past couple of weeks. So, I won't go first because I forgot to fix this file, so somebody else go.
No one?
Good job.
I mean, on the note of holding our breath in tunnels, I almost had a solution for that.
What do you mean almost?
The only railroad thing I've really done recently was got outbid at for a Railroad Memories auction. I was bidding on a Rio Grande supplemental oxygen kit.
Oh, like gas mask?
Yeah, for the gas mask, dust mask, and then also I think the tank in the little box that's stenciled DNRGW and all that nonsense. But I got outbid at the last minute, unfortunately. Otherwise, I've been very, very busy with, college and apartment stuff, and I think that goes doubly for you, Ellis.
I mean, honestly, I haven't been that busy. Now that I'm out of, I was out of classes. I didn't have any finals to deal with after, 2 weeks ago or so. I had one final that was due on Tuesday. Oh, crap, I get to talk about Livingston.avi this time, don't I? Because I hadn't done that last time. I should pull that up and grab that, but I graduated, so I have much less to do than Weibold, as a matter of fact.
Congratulations!
So, I now have a BS in civil engineering from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
Yeah, you do.
Or Rensselaer Poly Institute, if you want to say it that way.
Rensselaer Poly Institute?
Yeah. One of my professors said it that way.
When noon squid
Right.
hit.
Yeah. And then I came back, I packed everything up. I'm no longer president of the New England, Berkshire, and Western. So I packed everything up and took it back here, and I took one thing over to the Providence Northern today. I took Lee out and I put him
back home.
Yeah, I put him back. I put him next to Ella, who I heard from JB that while I wasn't there, Ella had gotten moved into a scrapyard, and then somebody else took her out and put her by the roundhouse.
Oh my
Instead,
god. Don't tell Madison. Oh, wait.
But I'm going to be starting my gerb in about a week. So next Tuesday I'll be starting my job, and then I'll be commuting every day, and then I'll be reorganizing my schedule a little bit, which I will talk about when we get to the housekeeping portion of the podcast way towards the end. But
housekeeping.
Vaughn, what the hell?
Housekeeping.
What is that
I got a whole bunch of
I'll
modeling.
tell you in a minute. Let Ellis finish.
Oh,
I mean, you can
God.
go ahead. I'm intrigued to hear about your big project. I want to see something actually happen with it, though.
Oh, well, so I am going to start modeling the Fort Worth and Western and the DFW area. So right above Milky's photos, that's how big that map actually is going to be.
DFW, for the uninitiated, is Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I only know this because of Rooster Teeth. That's the only reason.
The area's
It's a nice airport.
No, because I have to deal with the airport every day.
That
Also,
is huge. Also, what's with the random little chunks that are out in the middle of the abyss?
So I made a dim, and it didn't delete all the tracks. It makes a portion of the map so far away from the tracks. So it didn't delete those, so I had to go and delete all those squares in there. I did it once, and then it crashed, and I didn't save.
Oh my god.
Or no. What happened was I deleted too much, and then I was like, I can't undo this. So I just started. So that's going to happen. I've started modeling the Fort Worth and Western because the train I work on, Grapevine Vintage Railroad, they basically run on Fort Worth and Western track. And I'm going to start getting every single locomotive they own in HO.
God,
and there's only
damn
20.
It.
There's only 28.
There's only
so
28. He's going
There's
to buy
only
28
only.
locomotives.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can buy, I need 2 more. I need 2008 and 2018, which they have models of. Everything else I'm going to have to scratch built.
Oh my god.
Lovely.
Well, have fun.
That's going to be fun.
Have fun with that.
Problem.
Good luck.
Oh,
GLHF.
I still have to, I got a Q1 that still needs paint and DCC and sound. I haven't ran my Q2s in forever. I've gotten...
Well, if you don't need them, I'll be happy to sort of, take them off.
Oh, no, the Q2s are mine. I've been running more modern stuff, and it's just like, okay. And then they're also in the bottom of all the stuff I own. I own a lot now. It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, speaking of more modern stuff, actually, I am looking to purchase something as a graduation gift for myself, and what I might end up getting is a PRR FA. Sorry,
Foxtrot Alpha.
Yeah. which is on sale for $130 with DCC and sound at my local hobby shop. So,
Ooh.
yeah. I had my graduation party, got all the graduation money, and I might treat myself a little bit before I go away on my trip, which means I'll have my first actual freight locomotive.
See, that's what I say about every train I own. Oh, it's just a gift, you know. I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I need to buy a Q2.
I need it.
Going by Q2.
Oh, so speaking of which, I started working at Grapevine Vintage Railroad.
Yeah.
What was it, back in September? It's been a wild ride since I started. I mean, I like the paycheck because I can buy stuff. But a few weeks ago, our engine, number 2199, died on the main line. So we're next to a chemical plant. It smells bad because it's a chemical plant. We're waiting for Fort Worth and Western. It takes them 2 hours. They bring in their 2 little Jeeps they had, thankfully, to push us into the stockyards. We don't have any other engines or anything. They didn't have power because they're low on power. And no other railroad could offer us anything. The NRA convention was in town, which means we couldn't get buses. So the city of Grapevine had to send their little shuttles that run around people to show them around the city of Grapevine to the stockyards to take people. By the end of that, most people had Ubered home. I was like, God, the generators are breaking, the engine is breaking.
Have you got a hole in the floor?
We have a whole. Okay, we have a fleet of SP articulateds, and there's a hole in those.
Nice.
Which they were on a farm for some reason, so.
Well, it's okay. We
Our main guy bought them. Oh yeah, that thing. What else happened? So I posted a picture right above my Fort Worth and Western roster. That is a new commuter line that's being built on our main line. So
I'll just scroll past all the Milky's brick things.
Soon enough, there'll be a commuter line running, which means more than likely we're probably going to go out of business. Just because they're running exactly to where we're going, and they're giving shuttle buses. Also, it's $5 instead of 18 or 26.
Yeah, but they're not a... Okay. Sure.
They go on the same train line we do. We just take you directly into the stockyards. So it's like the one advantage. Oh, another disadvantage is we go over Tower 60, which is the BNSF and UP main line, and dispatch doesn't understand what they're doing. Like, I thought, okay, the dispatch, this is easy. There's a train 20 miles away, and they clear him through the tower, though it takes us like a minute to go across. It's like, what? And then after that, oh my god, it's just, no. I can't even with them.
Can't even.
So it sounds like things are going great.
No, also we have a steam locomotive 2248, the SP 10-wheeler?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's PT1.
Yeah, is... Okay, Mookie. T-1?
No, it's actually T1.
Is currently doing its, 15-year inspection?
Yeah, 1472.
So that's happening. It probably won't run again since the railroad will be dead. So we'll see what happens to everything. Ooh, actually.
New wreck.
Now that I think about it, we did buy these things.
Oh no.
Get your hands off of my...
We have 3 of them now.
Oh, these
They're
things.
on the way. They're called the SPV 2000, but they're the Continental.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we have those. Oh, Ellis, you'll be sad. I'm sad to say that we did not get the FL9s.
No, get your hands off my... wait, you said F40s?
No, FL9. Somebody else bought them.
Don't touch those.
Well, somebody else bought them. So.
Who was that somebody else?
I don't know.
Yeah, well.
That information is
information would help.
Undisclosed.
Okay.
Or contaminant.
We'll see where they go.
I have one more story.
Oh.
So me and my friend, we decided, okay, we're gonna do a 24-hour trip and railfan for 24 hours.
This is gonna go so
You're
well.
a lunatic, but okay.
Well, that trip turned into a 48-hour trip. We went from Dallas Fort Worth down to where Cleburne is. That's where Santa Fe rebuilt their F7s and stuff like that.
Mm.
All the way down to Houston, Texas. The next day, we went all the way to New Orleans, up to Jackson, Mississippi, over to Shreveport, and back. All in 48 hours.
Jeez.
We're crazy people.
Busy
Yes.
boys.
I wasn't driving, so, you know.
So what you're saying is you were kidnapped.
No, it was fun.
It was
'cause
kidnapped.
I got to take pictures. I never get to take pictures.
Kidnapped with fun.
Also, we
Right.
created an entire Google Drive doc of all the locomotives we've seen. So
Oh my
we've seen
God.
like over
Foamers.
1,000. No, it's because I'm gonna. So you know how I have that map, right? The trains map that I'm working
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna do that also in a model railroad form.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be in a warehouse. We're gonna get all the
Right.
power.
Right.
Currently, there is.
Right.
We've seen 1,340 UP locomotives, and that's the most.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Bummer.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who came up with this idea, so.
I mean,
You
yeah, but
sure?
you're doing it.
You really sure?
I was gonna say you did go along with it.
Well,
If your friend says, "Hey, let's jump off a bridge," and you follow him off of the bridge, yes, you didn't come up with the idea, but that doesn't make you any less stupid.
It's nice to have to see what's like running the area and like all the different types of locomotives.
Yeah, no, you're totally a foamer, but it's not a bad idea. I would do that.
Oh no, yeah, that's cool.
I'm no Graham.
I don't even think Graham doesn't have that kind of dedication.
No, either.
I mean,
Dedicated.
Graham has more focused foaminess.
Focused.
Javon,
foaminess.
how far is Grapevine Village from the Gaylord Texan?
Literally like 5-minute drive.
Really?
Like you can see it if we go out on our front run, which probably won't happen. Also, speaking of which, so the commuter line runs, and then there's another line that we also go to. Like they curve off into their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But that other line is DART, which is the commuter line that runs in Dallas, is building a line on the line that we use for the front runs, Polar, Thomas, and everything else.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. No more Polar, no more Thomas, which means no more $1,000 paychecks. For
No
me,
more
which
money.
I kind of
No more money.
That means no more money, but no more Thomas.
Thomas is
And-
easy.
For
Thomas
you.
is-
Annoying. Thomas,
Okay.
yeah, you don't have to do Thomas in the middle of a July in a 130-degree cab.
Okay, well, I have to deal with the children and the coaches, so...
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Fair. I will take shoveling coal in the middle of summer over
And I
dealing
have
with
to do
children
that for
any
both.
day. Fair.
I have to do that for Polar too. That's what when I think of the engineers, I'm like, oh, they aren't dealing with all these people. Because one day we got stopped at Tower 60 and we had to turn around, so people didn't get to go to the stockyards and stuff like that. People were pissed. I'm pretty sure the engineers were just like, we're just going back,
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
I mean, how many days of Polar do you do, though?
40.
Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then in December, we do every single day.
Yeah.
We start in November 11th or something like that.
Yeah. About the same as us, then.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but we don't actually do Polar. We call it the North Pole Express because
Oh, you whip
we
it
don't
off.
want to pay for
It's a
copyright.
rip-off.
Well, we
Yeah.
do give people bells and stuff like that.
I mean, you really should pay Al.
Well, no, it's not. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
How
but
is
I
it
mean,
different?
you should do Polar Express. It goes
You
to a
don't-
good cause.
You don't understand the city of Grapevine. You don't understand the management. You don't want to know Weibel. I will tell you all.
Fair.
Oh, come on.
I'll
Weibold
turn-
has great experiences with management.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. I mean, Grapevine's nice. I never knew you had a railroad, but Grapevine is nice.
They used to run Puffy 7 days a week, like 150 miles and back. Like, I'm surprised that thing lasted so long.
Wow.
Are they rebuilding it?
Yes.
Uh.
It's currently in pieces. I can go see it. The cylinders have been outside, but
Fun.
Yeah, very fun.
Oh, they're out.
Your 10-wheeler's in pieces, my 10-wheeler's in pieces.
Your 10-wheeler is on the other side of the country.
In pieces.
In pieces.
Rip.
But
Hey, it's better. Wait, no. Okay, so basically, I made a joke to my boss that it was basically like 1361, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we do have parts like all over the place." I'm just like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
It's funny, 1361 had parts all over New England and Pennsylvania and New York State, and your engine has parts all over Texas, and it's pretty much the same area.
No, it's we have pieces in Strasbourg, we have pieces other places.
Oh
too.
no.
Oh, well, you're never getting those back.
No. I hope you've got a decade and a few $1 million.
Well, we don't have any place to run, so and then it's like $250,000 to put PTC in 2248, stuff like that. Yada yada yada.
I
You
just
don't
smack a
need-
diesel on the back.
You don't need PTC in
No, you
2248, do you?
I'm pretty sure we are, since we're running on the commuter line. If we continue to run on the commuter line.
Well, you're just going to
But you're...
Well,
Is the
765 one's
commuter
on
line a
Metro.
Class 1, or... No,
No.
because you count as a tourist railroad.
I mean, if the commuter
Yeah,
line is
but-
like, we want you to have this, then that's just...
The commuter
that's
line. Also, we do run on Class 1. We run on the UP Choctaw sub for a bit.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Also, we cross Tower 60, which is the UP and BNSF main. But,
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Well, it's okay. If you
I
if you build a ramp, you could just jump it.
I have a
Just
friend
gonna-
who actually has joked about that.
I was talking with a gentleman that works for the BNSF. I won't reveal any names for the sake of not revealing names, but
Uh-huh.
we're talking in depth about PTC and sort of the computerized operations. And there's a comment, excuse me, that was made by one of my bosses a while ago, like a couple years ago, that railroaders nowadays are basically glorified truck drivers. And I thought, well, that's kind of harsh. It's still this big heavy machine and all that. And by what this person was describing to me, how PTC works and how it's been implemented into BNSF. A, PTC is a wreck
Yeah, we know.
and isn't going to solve nearly as many things as people give it credit for.
Yep.
And B, that's nothing new. B, it wouldn't be safe, but if you wanted to, there are parts of BNSF's network, like entire corridors, where you could just let the train go with nobody on it. It would run itself. It does the braking. The engineer is basically a person nowadays that sits in the seat and monitors the computer systems and makes sure that they are not malfunctioning.
Yeah, you know what?
They are not driving the train. The computer is.
It's
So they
glorified
got-
truck drivers. It's easier than truck driving. You don't have to keep it on the
It
road.
is easier than truck
Yeah.
drivers. You don't have to steer. You just sit there and look at the computer.
So one of us needs to message Elon Musk and be like, you have automatic planes and trucks and cars. You should look into trains.
Well, that's what the Hyperloop is for.
But the Hyperloop, if that thing, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
How so?
I don't even think it's a disaster waiting to happen. I think it's just a massive expenditure.
It's a
nobody
vacuum.
needs.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum.
Yeah.
if-
Well, it's
if-
not.
if
It's not
anything
completely
cracks-
a vacuum. It's just
But
lower than
if-
atmospheric pressure.
If anything cracks, that thing's gonna explode.
No.
I mean,
it's probably
it
just
would
gonna go.
actually yeah, it would lose pressure and slowly decelerate. Worst case scenario, it would implode, not explode.
Well, maybe
And then explode, because it's how implosions work.
I mean, if you're worried about the car, if you're worried about the carriage, I mean, your airplane doesn't blow up when you've got a little hole in it.
yeah.
But
guess-
Although your airplane is at a positive pressure.
well, yeah,
on
but
the
that's
inside.
what he's saying. Like the carriage for the Hyperloop is at a positive pressure compared to the tube it's in.
That's true. I'm thinking the tube
Yeah,
compared to the
I
atmospheric
was thinking
pressure,
that too.
which is the other way
Yeah.
around.
Whatever. This is
Oh,
not the
yeah.
Hyperloop podcast. When they start building them, then we can weigh in on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
When they drive Kavan out of business,
oh yeah. Guess what?
they're building a
There
Hyperloop.
was a no.
Yes.
Remember last week there was a derailment in Fort Worth.
No, but
I got to see. I got to go see it. It's still there.
it's
It's still there.
They're taking their time.
Sticking to a sweet
Yeah.
ass time.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how it happened, but you know.
It just
Sweet
tipped
ass
over.
time.
It just fell over.
Someone blew on it and it just like died. Hey, train, yo. Ah!
I mean, that's what happened to another train, supposedly. But, you know.
Ooh.
It's like a double stack. Oh, it derailed because of the wind. I thought these were designed to run in the wind.
No,
I guess
too much blow.
I was gonna say,
You know
depends
what
on the
else
wind.
was kind of one in the wind?
The
My speeder that I modeled.
sail rail. I thought you modeled it in Minecraft. There's no wind in Minecraft.
But-
Yeah. There isn't such thing as wind in
Well, it
Minecraft.
could
So-
be in Point the Trains if I really wanted to.
Is there really wind in trains? I mean, I guess there is.
I don't think
Well, there
that
could be
the-
wind in
the
Minecraft
trees
with the
move.
localized weather and blah blah blah, whatever it's called mod.
Yeah.
Oh, jillies.
But anyways, I have modeled a few things. I completed my coach sets. I'm working on getting them imported to the game. So, and once I was done with the coach pack, I decided to do a speeder. Mainly because I wanted to do the generator cart part of it more than anything. Which would allow for trolleys to be in the mod.
Uh-huh. Hold on, I'm showing off the model of the speeder next to the boxcar.
Spurter.
Yep.
Spoder.
You're a little bit tall for it, just saying.
I noticed.
Yeah. The speeder is actually to scale. It's just the Minecraft player model.
It
It's
doesn't
just
sit
that
down.
Steve is 6 foot whatever.
Yeah.
So
The
it's
monster.
basically how Wybold would fit in the
Yes.
thing.
You say that. Steve is about my height. Steve's what, 6'6"?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because he's 2 meters. A meter is 39 inches. 3 foot 3 inches. So yeah, Steve is 6'6".
Okay.
Steve is the actual
And
Spartan.
while I was on it, a while back I measured out the old Portland Traction Company Selwood car barn.
The
in
PTC?
Yeah, PTC. And I decided to recreate it in Minecraft, and it came out very well.
Yeah.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest.
The Muffin Man.
And I also added a little cart to go with it. So that's in game, and it works, and it's fun to drive around in. But it sucks up fuel like no tomorrow.
Suck.
Speeder carts with generators on them just brings back all kinds of stories that it's like, oh, this can only go well.
Mudge. No, except
No.
I miss Mudge.
I think have I told that one on the podcast before, the Conversion Toltec's luck with generator cars?
I don't
No.
think so.
Now,
Oh dear. How much time do we have?
I mean,
plenty.
I'll quickly wrap
Yeah.
up my stuff.
we don't. I mean, we don't have to rush into
Who
looking
else?
at it.
Who else wants to go? If we have a spare 5 minutes or so at the end, I'll tell
Also,
the
we
story.
still don't
Okay,
have a
I-
locomotive versus.
Milky, do you have any other?
J14 versus a cinder block.
Yes, I already chose the engine while we were talking.
Oh,
That we haven't done. But
okay.
anyways, I made a water car for my narrow gauge route and a rigs and building box car. And by made, I mean reskinned.
Made in quotation marks.
Yes, that's Dash 8 that I made. Or that I reskinned, rather. Into
Made.
Albany and Eastern on the all brands. Why not?
By reskin, you mean you put a line through the word CSX.
No, I did a little bit more than that. I changed the number.
Wow.
Why don't I believe you?
And I put the words AERC on the side.
Yeah,
Right.
Ark.
Anyways, that's a brief summary of all of that. Oh, and I was at the museum and drove a trolley.
Any
That was fun.
actually stalled 346.
Nice.
I said I stalled. I didn't really stall. She did something stupid though. We think there's actually video of this online. We start going out of the station, and trying to give her more throttle. She's just kind of bah, going up the hill. She's not going to make it. I look over, we have steam, and I also notice that I have the throttle wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Like the throttle is up against the feed valve for the brake,
Mm.
and it was at that moment I'm like, okay, and shut the throttle, set the brake. Called Jeff up. It's like, what exactly is going on here? We weren't sure. Try it again, and she leaves just fine. But of course, the one video of me running over the past couple weeks when we did our little steam marathon, I think a week ago, or a week and a half ago now, was of the run where 346 decided to just stall.
Of course.
Of course.
Nailed it.
Nailed
Good
it.
job.
Yep. There you go. Much climb. Much chooch.
Anyway.
Much climb.
Well, we're at half an hour if we want to... Oh, wait, we still don't have a thing. Does anybody
Yeah, we have a thing.
Do we have a thing? Can somebody...
I did it.
Milky
We got
put
a
it
thing.
there.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I
we'll
put
do
it-
that.
well,
That's fine.
Talking. Very quiet about it.
We're just making sure that we had a thing.
King.
There's a video of my most recent foam adventure over on this very channel called Livingston.avi, which is like 90% bridge. So you can go watch that if you want to. It's a swing bridge in downtown Albany, also featuring the Lakeshore Limited and the Maple Leaf, and a party boat.
And yeah, there we go.
There is in fact a party boat featuring the Cupid Shuffle.
Demonetized.
I'm surprised I don't have like a something for that.
Copyright
It's like you
strike.
just recorded. I just recorded his boat blasting the Cupid Shuffle,
I mean,
but everything's okay.
to be fair, it's kind of hard to distinguish what song it is.
No, it
so-
isn't.
For me, it is.
What,
To
which
a
song is
robot,
Cupid
it
Shuffle?
was.
To the right, to the right, to the right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't know.
High kick.
I didn't know what it was called either. I ended up
None of us
looking it
knew
up
what it was
afterward.
You could have asked me.
Yeah, because I was gonna be like, "Hey, Kavan, what's this song in this video that I just made?" I have Shazam.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
Quazang.
Was Shazam? Excuse me while I whip this out. Yeah. All right. Anyway, if that is all for that kind of junk, I might be going on a new foam adventure, but I'll talk about that next time if I actually go. It has to do with Maine narrow gauge number 7, which has returned, but we will talk about that later in the show. Anyway, I think it's time.
Sure, the motive.
What is it? What is it
It's
time
time
for?
for.
What is it time for?
I don't know. You're the one that says the thing.
The cute.
What do I say though? I can't remember.
Well,
It's been so long.
We'll have to get somebody to replace you then.
Oh, that's right. It's time for.
Okay.
Oh!
Who are you gonna get? Dean to replace him?
No.
Dean sucks at
Definitely
it.
not Dean, actually.
They screwed you.
In one corner, we have the venerable returning with Kavan, PRRQ2. And in the other corner, we have the UP-412-2,
AKA the 9000 class.
aka the 9000 class.
Oh no.
So I need pictures, please.
Victor.
Okay,
I'm gonna get the best picture of a Q2 you've ever seen.
Okay.
It's the best
well.
picture.
Okay, there's a picture of the 9000. It's a beautiful picture.
I'm blind.
Not really.
And I'll explain why later.
Okay.
It's blind.
Okay, I can't find any good pictures.
I
There are
found
tons
one.
of good pictures.
I mean, I want a better picture though.
There are no
Better
good
than-
pictures
Come on, this is a
What are
pretty
you looking
good
for,
side
4K?
of 4K in 19.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna pull up.
Yeah, this is a
Oh,
picture.
Oh, I beat you to it.
It's a big boy.
That
B-O-I.
big bull pictures.
It's not a big boy, but it's a big boy.
So putting the crazy design up against the equally crazy design.
Yeah, so who should go first?
Flip a coin.
I'm honestly not to go.
I always.
Eeny, meeny, miny standards.
Okay, standards it is.
God.
Go, Kavan.
Firebox area.
God.
Firebox area. Firebox area. 591 square feet.
725 square feet.
Damn.
Jeez.
Great area.
108.5.
120.7.
Damn.
Evaporating heating surface.
5,853.
6,725.
Great start.
Than I5 was going to be. I5 was going to get smashed.
Superheating
The
surface.
Smash.
2,560 square feet.
2,930 square feet.
Oh my
Oof.
god.
Combined heating surface.
Well.
Well,
I wonder who this is gonna go to.
8,460 square feet.
9,655. Evaporating heating surface over cylinder volume.
Is that one really fair?
No.
Two.
Such as...
Actually, it would be
Yeah,
unfair in
one of them has
Milky's
3
favor because he
cylinders
has
and the other
one
one has
fewer
4.
cylinder.
So, Milky, what is it?
Mine is 276 point.
Well, hold on, repeat that. You broke up.
276.0.
Okay.
677.37.
Jesus
God.
Christ!
Ruffle stop.
That's like...
Robert Lima Sama FEMA power computation.
What?
Be nice to Bob. Hey,
Okay, 23,815.
36,510.
Bastard.
Alright.
Same as above plus superheating percentage.
30,900.
47,463. Same as above plus superheating percentage.
Didn't we just do that?
You just did that.
Yeah.
Firebox area for great area.
Substitute area for great area, sorry.
Okay, 169,026.
282,750.
God.
Oh my god.
Power L1.
Situate to grab the big boy out. So.
Yes.
Yes.
24,856.
51,087.
Yes.
Goodbye.
at least it won't be a washout.
Power MT.
928.78.
1,432.92.
Oh my god.
Okay, now I gotta figure out what else I can do.
Hey guys, how many survive?
1.
Yay, Milky gets a point.
I have 2 HO models.
Done.
Doesn't count.
Wait till I build my time machine.
Alright, come on, continue.
Tender loaded weight.
Underloaded weight.
That was not a good idea.
I meant that's the
bad
wrong
idea.
thing. God damn it.
310,599.
Oh, 400,020 or 420,000.
But mistake.
Hey, hey, Q2
No.
boy, what's your minimum weight of whale?
131.
Oh, that's it.
98.
I never thought the 9,000 would win against anything in minimum weight of rail.
But here we are.
I'm
Fighting
legitimately
what
interested.
Pennsylvania
I don't think there's a stat for it, but I wonder which one could go around tighter corners.
Well,
Oh,
the
shit.
stat
There
for it,
should
the
be,
stat
but there
for it
isn't.
would be what is your engine wheelbase? Or no, sorry, that's not going to work for the Q2. Yeah, no, what's your engine wheelbase?
Yeah. Be the driving wheelbase.
Yeah.
Driver wheelbase?
Well, the driver.
Yes.
Yeah, just do the driver wheelbase. Sure.
Okay, mine is 30.66.
26.37.
What?
God damn it.
Wow. Okay.
Slightly longer.
All right. Moki still has it, though.
Yes.
Don't F this up, Moki.
Okay.
Better not.
Alright.
Tread lightly, dude.
How many were built?
Oh no.
Why would you ask
Wait.
that of a Penzi engine?
26.
88.
Yes.
What?
You
There
made
were
it.
that many 9,000?
Apparently.
Yes.
I knew there were quite a few. I wasn't sure if it was more than 26, though. Okay,
I was
keep
thinking
going,
like
Moki.
Okay. Hey, what's your weight on Tribers?
Weight on drivers, 393,000 pounds.
Yes. 354,000 pounds.
I'm amazed it's even remotely close.
The 9,000s were really, really fat.
Yeah, I can tell.
The cute twos were fatter.
Yeah. I'm using this to my advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your engine weight?
619,000 pounds.
Alright, mine is 496,500 pounds.
Oh my god.
Raffles.
We already did tender building weight. Why not the total engine and tender
Oh
weight?
my god.
It's gonna be over 1 million pounds.
Eh,
1,041,100 pounds.
And Noki is...
807,099.
Yep.
99.
90
Yikes.
pounds.
Oh my god.
What's your water capacity?
That was not
But
a good
mistake!
Big mistake.
19,200 gallons.
Mine's 18,000. Damn it.
Lucky.
I'm actually
I
surprised
thought I
it's
would
that high.
have
That's
less
pretty good.
water than me.
Coast to
It has a
coast.
coast to coast.
He has a big fat coal bunker.
But the
you're
tender
old.
is longer than some locomotives.
It's larger than friggin' three
Oh, so
Hanks.
it's okay.
You have oil, right?
Yes.
Okay, can't do that.
Cool.
Uh,
Are you?
Factor of adhesion.
Should have a coal stat too.
Oh no.
I don't think I have a coal stat either. Oh wait, never mind. I do.
So you should.
Well, what is the coal stat before we go on to what Kevon asked? Who has more coal?
Gee, I wonder.
Do I go for it?
Either, anybody.
37.5.
Only
20. Alright.
20 tons.
Okay.
It has tons.
22 gallons of oil.
Yay.
22 gallons of oil.
That is literally 4 times the amount of coal that we can fit in anyone's country.
Alright, anyways, Kevon asked.
Factor of adhesion.
3.66.
3.9.
That's pretty good.
Really?
Yes.
Somehow.
I mean, for all it's worth, the Q2 sort of represents the pinnacle of Pensi freight engine design. Everything that they knew went into that engine, and then they were like, yeah, but we don't need steam anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say much about Standardland Steam to me. Doesn't.
I mean, it had... We'll get to it later.
Other than they were on trucks, but
The orange rod, what?
It has the highest... Whatever, we'll get to it later.
Yes.
Okay, tractive effort.
96,646.
Wow, pretty close. 100,816.
Oof. That was pretty close.
Yep.
If I was going to be completely dead there.
Driver diameter.
67.
69.
Wow.
Hey.
Hey.
Way to be those guys, Penzi.
High pressure cylinders.
High pressure cylinders. 27 by 32.
19.75 by 28.
No. Yep. Yeah. I saw that from the pictures. That was not going to happen. for you. Come on. That wasn't gonna happen. You were very... Notice how you had so much of a larger evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume, despite the fact that you have more cylinders.
Yeah, that is also true.
Okay, what's your yield pressure cylinders?
23.75 by 29.
Uh-oh.
27 by 31. Let's go.
Big.
That is, yeah, this is large.
But he's only got one of them.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, he's got the two. The two are the low pressure.
Yep. Because I'm special.
I'm special.
Okay. Do you have a stat for axle loading?
It's over 9,000.
Control
Fat.
Thick.
What did you say, Kevon?
No, I do not have a
Okay.
set for that.
Yes, he
I
does.
do, and it's
Where?
6
Oh, yeah, it does.
I'm looking right at it.
Hey, don't look at it,
say-
Dean.
79,780.
Okay, so I think I won that by 1,000 because I'm at 60,000 even.
I think
Wait.
Lucky would win that one.
Oh, yeah, Milky wins because of lower axle loading.
Yes.
Wait, I didn't say 70. I said 79,000.
So
Okay.
so Milky won by 20,000.
Yes.
Okay, wow. That's
Fat with a
impressive.
PH.
Okay, what's your overall wheelbase?
107.62.
What? Okay. I'm 91.50 for me.
Well, yeah, he's... Kemon's like 20 feet longer.
So do I win that?
No! Think of the
Oh.
size. Think of the size of turntable you would need to turn around that engine.
Oh, I thought it was...
Larg.
Oh, okay. Did we already do ratio driving wheelbase? Wait, we did.
No, did you?
No.
No, do it.
Okay, let's do that then. Ratio driving wheelbase to overall engine wheel.
0.49.
0.59.
Okay, so 0.59 is better. Okay. Anything else?
Mm.
What's your loco base ID?
You know what mine is?
What?
290.
290?
Man, I'm 350.
That's astonishingly low in both cases.
Yeah, because they're interesting, I
They
guess.
should have made it 9,000.
They're not interesting at all.
No, don't make mine
9,000.
2175.
Mm.
Are there trained models of the Q2?
Yeah.
Does
Oh, no.
No,
Oh, no.
disappointed.
They're supposed to be.
Hey!
Yeah, effing
Yes.
Lara.
Hey!
Wait, Weibold? Wait a
yes?
second.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wait a second. Well, now, where is it?
I'm waiting for this disaster. I think I've seen this before.
Is this just
Tech-
cancer?
Technically, there's a model.
Okay, if it's from the one dipstick that just puts different wheel sets and everything, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count at all.
I think that's what he's trying to count
That
for.
is what
That's what it is. Okay, it
I'm
doesn't
certain
count.
That's what it is.
That doesn't count. Then.
Hey. Well, gear.
And I do believe there's an Ace of Steel model line. There has to be.
But do I
There
own
are
it?
several.
Well, I think
Yes,
I've seen
you
several-
do.
No, I own a. I'm talking about the 9,000 class. I don't
Okay,
know.
MT8 produced
You
there's
own one.
1,000.
That's not what matters, Gavon.
I own a compound.
I own a duplex.
Fair enough.
I'm finally going to style
Alright, let's
points.
go to style points. Alright, first of all,
Okay.
the Q2 has the highest horsepower rating of any locomotive ever static tested. It also has mechanical, automatic, anti-slip devices on both of the driver sets.
It also has a water scoop.
It also has a water scoop.
I have no idea how
Yep.
mechanical anti-slip works.
The design was by Raymond Loewy. Famous
Was
designer.
it?
Yeah.
Part of it was. The fact that it's got the casing and everything. but it's not like a streamlined engine.
Lowy.
It's, yeah.
I was gonna say Lowy was having an off day. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, the Q1 is like, okay, and then this one with Pennsylvania is like, we're building a freight engine, dude. You don't have to go that, you don't have to do that much. Make our maintenance work easier.
I'm always like, screw you.
Okay, style point. I have 3 cylinders.
He has 4.
On his 4.
Milky,
On one wheelbase.
No.
I'll give it to Milky.
All right,
I would
fine.
give it to Milky.
If Kevon says you get the point for that, you get the point for that.
Okay. Come on, did you have roller bearings by chance?
I would imagine so.
It looks like he does. Did you have a booster?
I did have a booster.
It looks like... I'm pretty sure you have a booster because it looks like there's a sand line running to the rear truck. Which is, I think, the only time I've ever seen a booster with its own sand line.
can't confirm.
Sandland.
Yes, there's Sandline. Dun, 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 dun.
Mr. Sandline.
Mr. Sandline. Dum 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 dum.
The Q2 has a coupler that folds out of the way.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't fold very far, but it still folds.
It's a flippy boy.
It folds, but it doesn't go very far.
Okay, do you have
flop,
comfy
flip
seats?
it, flop, flop.
Do I have comfy seats?
Who knows?
Do you have train line steam?
I was built for freight, so maybe.
So was the Q2.
The Q2 was built for freight, but that said, it was given a keystone, so we can assume it got the passenger fixins. If it was just a freight engine, they would have only given it the round.
Actually, I have a website that could help because the museum that owns the 9000 has a good page on it.
The 9000 also has the strangest valve gear for the central unit.
Well,
What is it? Oh, it's young. That's right.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
We were talking
What
about
is-
this last night, actually, because Eric was dicking around the Iron Horseman route with a bunch of UP9000s.
What did I find?
Dean, what are you doing?
Oh, Dean, you probably found the thing I was talking
Dean,
about
what
earlier.
the dick?
What is
And
that?
my engine is one of 4 surviving 3-cylinder steam locomotives built in the United States.
I'll give you a point for that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give him a point.
Yeah. 60,000 not included in that.
Gonna get a point for a standard.
No.
No. Remember,
Wait.
all 60,000 doesn't have 3 cylinders, it has 3 boilers.
Yeah, it's 3 boilers. Actually, the thing that I learned is that high-pressure locomotives have more than one, pressure chamber, so I'm
Yes.
actually wrong. But anyway,
Uh,
who built the 9000 class? I don't need to ask who built the Q2.
can I have your alcos?
Yeah, but for posterity's sake, the Q2 was built by Juniata.
Yes.
For those who don't know.
Did we? Okay.
Oh,
I don't know who to actually
I have
give the
a
point to.
I can never remember. Do we favor Baldwin over Alco for ubiquity or Alco over Baldwin for
We always
quality?
favor,
Baldwin
we
for
favor
Alco.
Baldwin over Alco.
Okay.
But it
I
is
can never
Juniata,
remember.
so if you wanted to call it a, if
You
you
also
wanted to
had-
argue it was actually
Yeah,
a homebrew, but
The same difference.
Milky, what?
I have a doghouse tender.
And not only
You do have
was
a
I, but am
Well,
I
You
alone?
do have a doghouse. You can
But-
have that.
But then again, Jungle Tender.
Not only
You have,
am I
you have a doghouse as a gas station for the brakeman to fill up his golf cart that he's taking to cross the tender.
yeah.
it's not a doghouse. It's a it's a freaking cottage.
Yeah.
No, it's a freaking mansion.
It's a little cabin.
It's a plantation on the tender.
But I got another style point. Not only was I the first built in my entire class, I was also the last retired.
No.
Okay, fine. How about your
Are we
way?
doing? Because are we doing the 9000 class or 9000?
It's always a class.
Me as a class.
Yeah. So then you wouldn't get
However,
points
that said, when were you retired?
I instead come. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, oh boy.
Okay.
May 1956.
When were the Q2s retired? Come on.
I'm looking it up. Last run 1951.
Okay, yep. They went away very quickly.
Yeah.
In peace.
56. That's survived pretty late. For a big steam engine, 56 was kind of like little backwater branch lines had steam still, but
Yeah.
In the NW.
UP held on the steam
And the
for a
NW.
while.
The end of it,
UP held on to Steam for a while. Understatement of the century.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so did the NW, didn't they? Like, from like,
Well, yeah,
until like
But
1960.
they don't still have one.
Could I get a point for being the biggest non-articulating locomotive ever built?
Are you really?
Is that true?
No, you
Is
are
that
not. You
true?
are not. You are not. No, you are not.
Citation.
Is the S1 bigger?
Yeah, the S1 is longer. The S1 was the longest reciprocating steam locomotive ever built, articulated and non-articulated.
But I was heavier.
Congratulations, Jordy.
Congratulations, fatso.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats, fat ass. You can break fast this year.
I see one cross compound on the Q2 and Milky has two.
No,
That's okay.
there's one on each side on the Q2.
Oh,
What's
okay.
the Q2? I can't imagine it having only one. It's the Penzi. They were like drowning in air compressors.
Well, see, the funny thing is the 9000 looks like it's literally drowning in air compressors.
I like the look.
Yeah.
I know you do. I don't.
I don't like the look. It looks ugly.
I don't know. The 9000, if it was a little bit shorter, it looks just stretched. It looks too stretched out.
Long boy.
But if it was a little bit compressed, I think the Vandy tender and the compressors on the smoke box looked very nice.
Oh, and the last steam locomotive explosion on UP was the 9000 crash.
That's not a point. that doesn't get you anything. You
What happened
exploded.
to A44? Also, I have stairs.
A44 didn't explode.
Yeah, it didn't explode at one point.
Yeah, wait, Milky, where are your stairs?
probably-
It looks
oh,
like there's a piece of metal keeping you from climbing up the front.
What?
Look at it.
He has like a ladder.
Look, we have literally the Pennsylvania has stairs with railings.
Yes.
Safety.
They have
Well,
a
you know what-
grand
yeah, both.
staircase and a ballroom on the pilot of this locomotive.
Yeah.
What OSHA doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
It has a deck. It has a porch on the smoke box. Big, meaty claws.
I mean,
The 9000 ran to the museum that got donated to under its own power.
That's pretty cool.
that's cool,
That is
but
pretty cool.
that'd be a point.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't get to
why
run
not?
all the way down there. yeah.
Look at the points, Dean. Yeah.
It can be a point.
Let's
Oh God.
Mookie's only he's only
Jesus
behind by
Christ.
8.
Only.
Holy
yeah.
All things considered, I did a great job of bringing it back.
Yeah, because I'm the heaviest thing out there.
Yeah, that's not
Literally,
good.
probably the heaviest locomotive we've ever had on Locomotive Versus. Like, we haven't had something that's,
Weighs over 1 million pounds.
yeah, something else that's over a
They
million.
gotta do the HY at one point.
Including that
Wait.
engine, what was it, like a Virginian engine that they just put a bunch of lead on because it wasn't heavy
What?
enough? Yeah.
Ellis, I was actually wrong. Has the S1 been on the Terminus? I'm guessing no, because it was
No.
awful.
I'm pretty sure
I
we've
don't
had
think
it
so.
on.
think they have.
It's actually heavier by 29,000 pounds.
All things considered, that's not that much.
Yeah, it's like probably. I mean, it's
It's
like
a drop in the bucket.
Okay,
it's
no,
like
we-
a
That's
heat
what-
report.
never
That's
have
what,
that
14 tons?
Yeah. It's a
I'd
coal
say so.
load's worth.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of weight, but it's not.
Oh yeah, that's another possible style point.
What?
I don't know if there would be one here in this crowd, but
Uh,
I had coal and oil at one point.
yeah, you're not special.
You're not special.
Okay, fine. I'll just burn.
I do want to give you
off
another
this
style
one.
point, though.
Yeah.
You have a line of sand to, I think, every single driver.
Yeah.
Which is
I thought-
good.
I
Look,
thought you were about to give him a point for Vanderbilt.
That's,
No.
I mean,
Vanderbilt.
It's a lot of
Yes,
sand.
you have a sand line to every single wheel. UP engineers.
Freaking UP engineers.
UP. Oh, we need sand plumbed to every single wheel on this 12 drive wheel locomotive because God forbid we have to go up Sherman Hill at a whopping 2%. Oh, woe is us.
Hey, Weibel,
Yes.
does he have an air ringer for the bell?
It looks.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Probably, yeah.
It looks like it.
Well, actually, does he have a actual non-air ringer?
Rope. Like does he have a rope?
Don't
I
know.
don't,
Yes,
I don't think Kavan does.
In this picture of 9000 I'm looking at, it has a rope.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The Q2 definitely does not have a rope.
Yeah, it's air
That's
only.
not-
Rope.
Also, I mean, at least it's out there though. On the T1s, the bell was stuck under one of the wings of the pilot.
Yeah. Good luck getting a rope there.
You get somebody to climb along the pilot and reach down and ring the bell.
Yeah, while it's in
Well, that's
motion.
why there's the porch up there, so you can sit comfortably.
You can recline and work on your tan at 80 miles an hour.
You know, it was far enough along in the life cycle of PRR engines that they decided, yeah, this thing should have stokers, I guess. So the fireman's like, all right, I'm gonna go work on my tan. Let me know if you need something. I'll be up there. Speaking of which, nobody
Firing
has
oil
doors,
like.
right?
Shoveling oil.
Nobody has what?
Nobody has doors, I don't think.
Oh.
Wait, does 9000 have
I
doors?
don't think I.
9000 has doors.
All right.
Oh wait.
Okay, he's got that.
Congratulations, you got some doors. Real fake
Congratulations.
doors.
I don't have my locomotive on me.
RFG.
No, I didn't have yours.
Oh my god,
Congrats.
Ice! No! He's advertising for the road to Denver.
Well, good. We're doing
No,
locomotive
stop.
versus
Okay.
we can't see it.
Ah!
Ha!
Ah, Failed
I'm just gonna grab an Iron Horseman Chronicles logo and put it over instead of going back to his stream.
just Photoshop.
I just told him, God damn it, Ice.
Or when you put this together, just remember the end
Or
of that.
just go in there and edit it so the logo says
Yeah.
something else. It's like the road to Douglas.
Hold on.
The road to Cleveland.
Alright, are we done here?
Almost, hold on. Snipping tool.
Oh no.
Snipping tool, please. I want more for the road to Denver. Screw you. I need rectangular snip. Me.
Yeah, apparently I had all sorts of different kinds of stokers.
Quick, Milky, how fast could you run in that thing?
50.
Yeah, I would assume not fast.
Yeah, teeny weeny drivers. Saving this.
109 and that engine's just not that fast.
Yeah.
This time.
But I could sure as hell Paul.
Well, anyway. Let's move on then.
Yep.
The winner is the PRR. Whoops. There are only 2 R's in PRR. Q2
The poor.
by the points. Oh, holy crap, I can't type all of a sudden. My hands are losing it. 26 to 21.
Commendable.
And
battle.
I'm going to vote for standards because I'm going to vote for standards.
I vote for up.
Yeah, because he's not going to vote for standards.
I would never vote for Standard Land.
Why doesn't that surprise
You're missing out, Dean.
No, I'm not.
me? You
I like the 9000s, but I think the Q2 is a superior engine.
Yes, we burn
All right.
coal.
I mean, as
We
Milton
did
pointed out, he
too.
burns coal sometimes.
Nice. Do we want me to send you the picture?
No.
We did.
Wait, what
We
did
burned
you
coal.
do?
The great fires and
Send the
we burned
thing.
oil.
Let me see it.
Well, let's go pull it up.
Before I switch back to it so that I can cover it and not see what it is.
Cover it, not see what
Oh wait,
it is.
I need to actually go switch back to his stream because it broke.
There you go.
What is this?
That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought you photoshopped a version of it.
No, I didn't.
Damn it! I thought you would change it to something else. That's why I was like, here, give me it. All right,
Watch
hold on.
the Iron
Let me switch
Horseman
back
part.
to his stream so that he can
Chronicles.
continue shilling his awful show.
Shit. God dang it. I mean, Bradley's just blocking the main line.
I need to switch back to him. Okay, so anyways, let's talk about the news.
The news.
Good news, everyone!
Good news. Pulsing Logging Company #2 ran a photo charter on Saturday.
Are you sure it's Pulsing Logging Company?
Yes, it is Pulsing Logging Company.
It doesn't say Pulsing Logging Company.
It does on the tender.
Pulsun Logging Co. .2.
Are you sure about that? I'm not sure it's Pulsing.
Logigage. What's
For
Logigage?
I was like, wait, did I really screw that up? I thought I just, I thought I just wrote it down. But no, they screwed it up.
No, they didn't screw it up. They made it historically accurate.
No, I'm saying that the text screwed it up. The text in the article that I copied. Because they say Saginaw Timber, but it's not Saginaw Timber right now. It's Pulsing Logging Company.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Saginaw Logging Company.
Yeah. The Pulsing Logging
Pulsing Timber Company.
The photo charter.
#4.
That was hosted by a gentleman named Martin Hansen. I think I've talked about him on here before. Mm-hmm. He's a big Steam guy, and he does show out with Steam. He owns a state out in Central Oregon, and he's our FRA guy.
Woo. Congrats.
But he ran this freight train photo charter with #2, and then 25. Or no, he was running it with 2 and 25. McLeod River 25.
McLeod.
So that's good. I think Pete Fierro has a photo charter coming up later this year, also featuring #2. So that looked like fun, and there's plenty of good pictures out there from it right now. See if I can find the post with them, but that's what they've been up to. Trains 2009. It's free for now. In honor of Trains 2019.
Oh, spoilers! Trains 2019 is coming out.
Yeah, come on, you can elaborate on that actually while I go find this.
Hey, come on.
Train Simulator. Oh.
Pooch, motherfucker, what you doing?
Okay, it's called Trains Railroad Simulator 2019, which will feature the Rocky Mountaineer. In this new trains, it'll have new graphics with physically based rendering, which delivers a more realistic lighting and texturing. And there's also a beta test coming out soon.
As in, did your computer hurt when you played Tane? Well, it will now.
Dude, like, a lot of us, like, just failed the benchmark.
I didn't try.
No, you don't fail. Wait.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
Yeah. You don't. We do.
What?
It gave us a percentage of how good our computers were, and they did not turn out well. But there's still an off chance that we could get in the beta anyway. So.
Well, they can see how bad a computer can be and still run the program.
Yeah, you gotta have that minimum benchmark at some point.
That minimum, just barely. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the minimum amount of an engine you can put on display to say you have an engine on display. So in the past, we've talked about B&M 3666, which was a mountain type, I think, that fell
Pacific.
off. Okay, sorry, it was Pacific. That fell off a bridge into the Piscataqua.
Watch your mouth.
Piscataqua River between Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Kittery. So, locomotive leading a southbound passenger train, who's crumpling, to Boston on September 10th, 1939, and the bridge collapsed underneath the engine. The locomotive and the first car went into the river. The engineer was killed, or the engineer and fireman were both killed, and the locomotive sunk 70 feet to the bottom of the river and has been there ever since. We've talked about it before in that they had to move it a couple of times to clear, like, shipping lanes or fishing areas or whatever. There were a whole bunch of nets that had snagged on it, and there was a point in time where they wanted to raise a locomotive. There was a point in time where they hooked up a bunch of cables and tried to get the whole thing to dissolve. But ever since, it's just been really sitting there, and they pulled up one piece, which would be, I would suppose, the trailing truck wheel.
It's the tender truck, I believe.
Okay, it's part of the tender truck then. It's one wheel set.
Because they had other pictures of it, and it was a bolster and what looked like the remnants of an arch bar truck.
Okay. The
So it would've
image
been a
here
tender
is
truck.
it's just a wheel
Just
set.
the wheel.
Yep. And, but, you know, the engine's on display. All of it that you could ever...
Why did they... Go on, sorry.
All of it that you could ever look at without a scuba suit.
Why is it that they decided not to raise the engine?
I don't know, probably because it was just going to be too much of a pain. Because nobody was going to put the money forth to do that. That's why.
That's fair.
It's not like...
I think it's really cool.
There wasn't a huge push to raise the thing. The reason they thought about raising it is because it was just an alternative to leaving it there. When they had to
Yeah.
drag it out of the way to get it out, to get it clear of a certain area. And they were like, oh, we might raise it while we're at it. And then they decided, nah, it's too much money. Let's just leave it there.
But recently, people have been putting more money back into locomotives.
One in particular, hopefully. One being 1361. Pennsylvania's locomotive. To go back to the standards that we've talked about, you know, that just one locomotive versus...
It would actually be better than standards.
What?
It would actually have to be better than standards.
Yeah, well, it would have to be better than standards. It needs a new boiler. They want to put new bearings on it. They want to make it roller bearings. They're going to need to put a new firebox on it. But there is a movement now. There's a movement going forward. They want to put money into this. They want to put some work into this. They want to give it, you know, the last
The
hurrah.
restoration it should have had.
This is going to be my last hurrah, Levin said. And Levin is the guy who owns the PRR E8s, which had the train canceled, which we talked about last time. And, yeah, it was the engine with possibly one of the most tumultuous histories of excursion engines, where it was literally...
Fired up.
Yeah, it was
Way to
fired
go.
up. It was run for a couple of years, or, you know, a couple of years. And it was sidelined with an axle problem, partially restored at Steamtown, then disassembled, shipped all over the state of Pennsylvania, and now it's finally back together in Altoona, and they want to make it run again. So, you know, nobody managed to lose.
And apparently they're going to do this all with private funding.
Yeah,
too.
that's what they want to do. So, you know, good luck and Godspeed to 1361. It'd be fantastic to see this engine on the move again. And so the question is, what PRR engine will be restored first, 1361 or 5550? Speaking of which, I don't have an article for it, but they were cutting holes in the tube sheet for 5550 recently.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Exciting stuff.
Schwanky.
Yeah.
So, speak of new build locomotives.
Yeah.
There's a minor update on Tornado following its failure with the Eber Flyer. Apparently, everything is progressing well. They're going to write a full report on the accident and what they think happened and yada, 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 and they're going to submit that to everybody. It sounds like nobody's really super upset with them, which is really good.
Yeah.
DB Cargo and whatever passenger rail jurisdiction they were running on at the time, really, you know, they seem to be very understanding. One of the big things that a lot of people feared when this accident had happened was the fallout from it. It wasn't a very serious accident. It was just a minor mechanical failure that needed rectification, but the fallout could have been really, really bad, and luckily that looks like it's not the case. So Tornado should be back on its wheels pretty soon here, and hopefully we'll be ready for the summer season.
Yay. Speaking of which, actually, now that you mentioned this article came up, which I didn't grab. Did anybody grab the thing about Now the British East Coast Line is still down here and unclaimed. Because you mentioned that whoever was running it. So,
Yeah.
a while ago, Britain, after having a national rail network, broke it apart, handed it out to different companies, privatized the rail network. But whoever's been running the East Coast Main Line screwed it up. So it's being brought back under government control. Stagecoach and Virgin Trains will hand control over on the 24th of June. And the Department for Transportation will run the service until 2020 when they're going to try to appoint a new public-private partnership. So, one of the things that happened after all the privatization was the way they divvied up the rail lines. They basically just created a whole bunch of local monopolies, which can be great, but led to a decline of service, and at this point apparently has led to somebody having no idea what they're doing. So, we'll see where this goes, and I don't see them getting a new contract at any point in the near future. Not these two companies.
No. Which, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Britain, it's cool because British Railways is going to become a thing again.
I guess. Woo, British
Cool.
Railways.
It
Yeah.
sucked.
I mean, you say that it sucked, but the trouble is, it's kind of the old adage, once the camel has its nose under the tent. The privatized systems in the 30s, when there was competition, did the best. And then BR got it, and it became worse. And then they privatized it again, but there wasn't really any competition, so it became worse than the nationalized network.
There was no reason to make it better at that point.
Yeah, well, it'd be like privatizing Amtrak entirely right now. The way that it would become privatized is they would just start slashing service. Yeah, I'm aware.
Well, who would do that?
There is that part of... Yeah, some idiot.
Actually, there's an article here that I would like to have gotten to read. It's a trains article, so either you have probably already read it or you can't read it. But
You can't.
there's Joe Boardman standing with passenger rail supporters in Raton, New Mexico in 2014. I've seen enough, I've heard enough, explained former Amtrak president Joseph Boardman. Which, this is striking. So the image, so Joseph Boardman, like I said, is a former Amtrak president. He was president before the current guy that's in there. And there's an image of him, that's the headline of the article pretty much, standing, holding an Amtrak Serve community sign in Raton, New Mexico in 2014 when there was the chance of losing the Southwest Chief. As there always is. But in that opportunity, in that particular thing. And, quote, "This is beyond common sense," he says, of the letter Amtrak sent to elected officials explaining why it was declining to provide its match for the Southwest Chief Tiger grant recently awarded to Colfax County in New Mexico. And he talks about how Amtrak has spent basically 20 years and countless dollars trying to fix up the infrastructure on that route to, maintain this service, and they think, quote, "They think they're fooling someone, but there wouldn't be this kind of arrogance if the management valued the economic impact a daily passenger train brings to the communities it serves." And again, this is from Joe Boardman, former president of Amtrak, somebody who clearly understood...
Knows what they're doing.
Understood what the point of Amtrak was. He does say, Amtrak needs to abide by the decisions made by the FRA with regard to PTC, but it would be ridiculous to stop service for New Jersey Transit or Metro North. But if those carriers can carry on past the deadline on December 31st of this year, which, they will, they're not going to stop. They're going to, lobby for an extension if they need one. Then the Southwest Chief can continue doing that as well. It doesn't need to be the end of the Southwest Chief, of course. Like is sort of alluded to in the title and is alluded to through this whole thing, he's sort of questioning the motives with this in particular and saying that, it's clearly they're declining this, not because they're afraid of the cost of putting PTC, but because they want to get rid of the route. And, the Southwest Chief is sort of like the hill to stand on, because it is one of the long distance routes. It's one of the longest long distance routes. It's
It's one of the least used.
Yeah, it's one of the least used. But it runs through basically an empty, desolate area where you don't have too many other options beside the train. And we talked about this a little bit last time. It's like, think about if you're going cross country. If you got a car, that's all well and good if you want to drive yourself. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, where is the nearest airport that's going to take you across the country? You might have to drive hours upon hours.
Hell,
to get
even
to
in
an
some
airport.
populated areas, there's not even airports in every town.
Yeah.
And my town barely has a private airport.
This
Yeah, on the commercial one.
Amtrak is not really a private business, he says. It is a state-owned enterprise, and it needs an open and transparent process that only Congress seems to be able to give state and national rail stakeholders under this new hedgehog strategy.
Operation Hedgehog. What exactly is the hedgehog strategy?
He says, I am concerned that the Amtrak board has begun to set their policy based on what we might call a hedgehog approach, as opposed to a hedge fund approach, meaning that the board sees an opportunity to hog all the federal assistance to complete the Gateway Plan, procure new city pair train sets operating off the Northeast Corridor to the southern big cities like Charlotte, North Carolina, and Atlanta and others, and shortening more routes in order to transfer more costs to the states while abandoning the national purpose of Amtrak. So basically, they're going to hoard the money for some things and, basically let everything else stagnate. And
Die.
he says, for me, it's the Raton Pass versus the Gateway Tunnel. You can't have one without the other. We've talked about the Gateway Tunnel before. The Gateway Tunnel is a new set of tubes that they want to put in under the Hudson River and the East River to replace and supplement the 110, 120-year-old Pennsylvania Railroad tubes at Penn Station. And that is a massively important project, and you shouldn't have to get rid of Amtrak's long-distance services for the sake of that project. That project should already be underway. It's that important. But everyone's just sitting on their thumbs saying, well, we can't afford this. We can't do that. We can't do this.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You know what Amtrak can do?
What?
Change their refund and cancellation policy.
Oh, yeah, more great things from Amtrak. To make
So
life
basically...
Continue.
So basically, for value or saver fares, if you cancel before the 24 hours, you get a full refund. If you cancel within those 24 hours, you get 75%. If you don't show up to the train,
if you miss your train,
you don't
you're
get any
boned.
money.
I mean,
You don't
that's
get
kind
any
of
money.
fair, I would say.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with that? That sounds like that sounds like any refund policy.
Yeah. I don't know. Apparently it was better before, but God knows what Does it say what it was before?
No. I cannot find what it was before.
I mean-
I'm guessing you can just get a full refund anytime, anywhere.
I mean, you could. To be fair, Amtrak really they need to step up their refund game, but having a very robust refund policy is something that definitely benefits Amtrak, considering the rest of the customer aspect of their service. Not that the on-the-train service is bad, it's just if you want to get somewhere on time, you might have a bad time. So having a refund policy where you can call up and say, hey, my train was 4 hours late, and they go, okay, you can have your money back. And I feel like that does a lot more to keep people coming back, because I'm sure there have been plenty of people, and I know a couple of people who have bad experiences with Amtrak, and are like, I'm not doing that again. But, it's always a struggle to convince people to...
But you know what?
Not give
Going
up.
from one bad experience to another.
Oh, great.
Japanese railways.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
why is this... what? Oh,
Are
Going from a late train.
apologizing because they're 25 seconds too early.
Wow.
not late. Not late.
It's a tragedy.
They're early.
It
They
is
left
a
the
tragedy.
station 25
And
seconds
this didn't only
early.
happen once. This happened twice
How
Yeah.
shameful.
in months. I don't know. It's very sad that they have 25 seconds early.
No, the sad part is that that's a big deal.
Yeah.
To
You live in-
Japan.
One of the articles said something on the lines of many New Yorkers were given the arm and the leg in order to be inconvenienced by a train departing 25 seconds too early.
Yes, that is
I mean,
absolutely.
who friggity who?
If I could pay money to have my train depart, actually I wouldn't because it's 25 seconds. It doesn't matter. But more importantly, it's 25 seconds and it doesn't matter.
West Japan Railways vowed that it would be thoroughly examining our conduct as to not make such a offensive mistake again.
Somebody
Yeah,
literally got
offensive.
sacrificed because of this. Somebody
People
committed
people
seppuku
died
because of
because
this.
Like punji sticks in a pit, the whole 9 yards.
people die because trains leave early. Apparently, I mean,
This is what happens when you upgrade your mass transit. You get 25 seconds early.
Well, you know what actually
Yeah.
happens?
What?
You
What?
get specially detailed trains, isn't that right, Milk?
Oh, Hello Kitty. Yeah.
Oh, hurrah, kitty!
damn it.
Hurrah, kitty!
Japan has got a train for everyone's favorite character in the world, Hello Kitty, coming out in
My
June.
favorite character.
Now I gotta book my trip there. Right away.
Yep. You don't want to miss it.
I already got my airline ticket.
You don't want to miss it. There'll be limited seats on this train.
Yes. Cuteness is
Aren't
big
there
in
limited
Japan.
seats on any train?
Yes, but we're not
This
going to
train
talk about
has-
that.
I'd be more impressed if you said this train has unlimited seats.
Just go to India.
That's true. I mean,
That's
even
what I
then,
was
it has
saying.
limited surface area.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so the article starts off with cuteness is a big thing in Japan.
Yeah, we know.
So much that the Japanese word for cute, kawaii, is known worldwide.
Yep.
Kawaii's main ambassador is, of course, Hello Kitty, a fictional ribboned bobtail cat born in 1970, who, to quote the article, sells the hell out of delightful lunchbox.
Sells the hell. Wow.
I mean, that's
well,
accurate. It's accurate.
I can't picture that being said in Hello Kitty, though. Those two things just don't go together.
I mean, it.
I'm
doesn't-
Hello
it just
Kitty.
never-
The cat
I sell the hell out of stuff.
You want my train with a face and I'm coming your way.
Oh my god.
Well, the Western Japanese Railway, which we talked about earlier, will be running a themed bullet train for it, pretty much. Decorated with Hello Kitty images, text armrest, and ribbons. Ooh.
And
Hello
the
Kitty.
You can't have Hello
Plus,
Kitty
the
ribbons. It'll
doll
ribbons really make it.
ruin the
for
aerodynamics.
photo. Hey guys, I'm gonna go get my photo taken for Hello
That's
Kitty
okay.
on this train.
That's good.
Why not?
I mean,
The first car of the train is called Hello Pizza.
No, Hello Plaza.
Pizza.
Oh, Hello Plaza.
Oh, Plaza. I heard
Not
pizza.
He said pizza.
Hello,
I
pizza.
don't know where he got pizza. He said pizza.
Hello, pizza.
Hello, the pizzeria.
Oh my
It's huge.
god.
Pizza's huge in Japan.
Pizza's
Of
huge.
course, yeah. It's the
Car
quickest,
two.
surest, fastest way to double your money in no time.
Car 2 is the Kawaii group, where people can sit in separate seats while enjoying pink armrests. The door is a nice trap.
It's so pink.
All. Man, there's great. They got video promotions. But it will be only be around for a minute.
It'll only be around for a limited
Time.
time. See, I said limited seats.
So unfortunately, by the time we actually make the Japan trip, it won't be.
Yeah.
Well,
This themed train will only be around for a limited time. Is that like the whatever it was grand opening F40 that we saw in Rhode Island, Ellis?
yeah, it was only there for 10 years.
Yeah, that was painted in banners for the grand opening of something in 2007.
Yep. I just
Oh.
watched Ein's back his locomotive up off the turntable and it left the valve gear.
Oh.
It left the valve gear on the turntable. Alright, never mind. It went back to the engine. It's good.
Ding, ding.
According to the railway company's website, the pink bullet train is the product of Hello Kitty's dream. While sleeping, she trumped that she met the spirit of a ribbon and asked for it to help with her goal of connecting people. When the ambassador of adorableness woke from this sleep, she was wearing a railway worker's uniform, standing at a station, and there was a whole white bullet train wrapped in pink ribbons.
I like how it has a goddamn backstory.
Why does it sound like a creepy fan
It has
fiction?
a backstory.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Again, it has a backstory. That sounds like some creepy fan fiction.
So anyway, it's adorable. Probably the cutest train on the planet right now.
How is it creepy?
Be honest.
Well, can't you imagine that as being a fan fiction that somebody wrote for Hello Kitty?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I can.
I don't think it's creepy.
And it's creepy because what is the target audience for Hello Kitty?
Children.
Everybody in
Yes.
Japan, apparently. Literally everybody.
Apparently. Okay.
Everyone in
Fair
Japan.
enough. Fair enough. If the target audience for Hello Kitty is 6-year-old girls, oftentimes 6-year-old girls aren't the ones writing fan fiction.
And 6-year-old girls don't care about trains.
Or maybe yours don't.
You know who else doesn't care about trains?
The
Someone
Amtrak
in
president?
Lancaster, Ohio, that's giving a passenger car away for free.
I mean,
It's
He probably does care about it, otherwise he would have just cut it up.
yeah.
Why are we not buying it?
that's true.
Hey, why both?
He probably cares about it more than other people.
Just no.
Hold up, Milky, go again.
But anyways, it's Explorer Office, plumbing and heating. It's installed.
All right, well,
Must be ASAP.
let's all
So
agree.
anyone wants a free passenger car, go contact this guy.
Let's all agree we aren't going to tell Madison about this.
Well, speaking of free passenger car, we can get a free baggage car.
Where you're,
We can
you're
have a free train.
Yeah,
here-
you're almost
here in-
there.
Wait, there's more!
Yeah, it's an entire free train.
For only 100 payments of $19.95 a month.
that's not free.
But
But if something breaks, you should use Flex Seal.
you know the
It's only
difference of
$3.
You understand. But anyway, the IRM is essentially giving away this baggage car. Because I don't think that because
It's a C&W baggage car.
yeah, C&W, but that's not special. Come on.
Yeah, it is. If UP gets their hands on it, they'll just scrap it
Yep.
or paint it or do something.
No, they're scrap it. Probably.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knowing UP's wackered
Nice
with
rack, UP.
good stuff.
Well, speaking of UP is actually repowering their locomotives, their switchers, to meet Tier 4 requirements
Tier
by the
4
EPA.
requirements. Oh my god.
And they also reactivated a whole bunch of units.
Yeah.
EPA!
Also, it's a
IND
whopping
14.
10 engines. Congrats.
But they're the first. I will quote. UP is the only Class 1 operating Tier 4 switchers, and it's the first Class 1 to pursue Tier 4 repowers. UP official said.
Is it
They
though?
also completely suck at PTC.
I don't know. I've seen BNSF love PTC. And their entire network.
BNSF loves PTC. UP is terrible at it. BNSF, according to the same engineer that I was talking about with PTC, BNSF ran 78% of their total services last year on PTC. That includes like local little switching runs and things like that. 78% of all trains they ran were PTC.
Is that mileage or time?
I have no idea. I think that's train number.
Oh, okay. Okay, then so just
Like
equal,
train-
equal weight for every train? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, again, including small little locals
Yeah.
and switching ops and car hops.
You want another passenger car? Actually, I'm not sure if this has more details, but I keep seeing more details, and so I keep looking at it.
No.
I don't know. It was just more, is there an update to these? I don't know. No, there's not. Alright, I hope there was more information about the Warwick car, but there isn't.
Oh, the diner.
Yeah, the one that's in the woods. I was talking to the
The
guys from
barbecue
Providence Road
place
today
to
about
be.
it. Yeah. Anyway, if we can go. Oh, of course.
Beaver Valley purchased some Jeeps from your backyard, Alex.
Yeah. They can get them
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I learned something about Pan Am. They aren't actually broke. They just pretend to be broke.
Pretend to be broke.
They make good money, but they don't invest it into the railroad at all. They just hoard it.
So it's like PR.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess. They have inherited the Boston and Maine's mentality of we're going to run it as far into the ground as it will go. We're going to run it until they outlaw it.
And if they don't, so be it. It will continue to make money for us until it breaks.
But you know what isn't illegal yet?
Yeah.
Brightline.
Going back to the Pan Am
Lord.
Brightline.
2 of them are painted in Maine Central and Boston and Maine, respectfully. And the other one is in Guilford paint.
Congrats. Right line.
You got a whole smorgasbord of paint schemes. Also, apparently, if you'll notice on all the Pan Am stuff, most of the reporting mark is Maine Central on almost everything, even the new stuff. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with the tax rate in Maine being lower. So they're still Maine Central, quote unquote. But going from Maine to Florida, we have the obligatory Brightline news. But nobody's dead. Nobody's dead. This time, just this once, everybody lives. And Brightline is now offering round-trip service between West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. So,
Brightline,
trade your car keys for a train ticket. And remember, if
and
you're
perhaps a coffin.
If you're no, because if you're in the train, it's statistically much safer than being anywhere outside of the train near Brightline. However,
it's also statistically safer to be in an explosive storage shed on fire. How many deaths were caused by explosive sheds on fire last year, as opposed to
not
Brightline?
Not many.
Yep, not as many as Brightline.
However, did somebody take this?
Yeah, I
Where'd it
did.
go?
The direct opposite of Brightline not killing someone.
Yep.
The Acela killed someone.
Yeah, somebody got hit by the Acela. Somebody got turned into red mist.
There are no.
Say
There's
red sentient mist again.
I don't understand because there's no. There's one crossing on the entire northeast corridor.
There are a handful, but they're all in Connecticut. Nobody cares about that.
They were all in New London, aren't they?
No, there's a couple of other ones in Connecticut. There is the big one in New London, but I think
I
there are
remember
some other
seeing
ones.
that one.
Yeah, we did see the one in New London that we had to drive across.
Yes.
And
we didn't die.
We didn't die. Where was this? Westbrook.
Is that in Connecticut?
Is it?
I think so.
It looks like it's in Connecticut.
I don't doubt that.
God damn it.
But the Acela train hit a trespasser shortly after 8 a.m. and officials then said that Acela 2153 will be terminated at New York Penn Station.
Roll credits.
Unintentional terminations. Oops. But yeah, rip that guy.
Yeah.
But you really shouldn't have been on the tracks.
Yeah, it is difficult to get hit by the Acela. You really need to be trying to trespass.
And this guy managed it.
But anyway, what else have we got? What else? We had something.
Wedding 2100, it's being restored, which we got an update on from Trains Magazine.
I think we're gonna see. Can you read it?
Even the video, they're talking about how they had to modify the engine because when they got it, it was set up for oil firing.
What?
Well, obviously that won't fly out east. So
I did not know that it was at any point an oil-fired engine.
yes, when we got out here, we converted to oil because reasons.
It was out there?
Yes, it was out in Washington for the longest time.
Why?
And they ran excursions here in Oregon, too, for a short time.
Okay.
This thing got around.
Yeah, I can tell. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a neat video of them just describing what's going on.
Cool. Stacy's mom.
Stacy's
mom has got it going on.
Railway,
Right.
which is owned by the Nevada State Railroad Museum. We built their track.
Oh, yay!
They laid not sure how many miles of track, but I think 30.
A couple. Some. Miles.
Okay, 2. Yeah, they laid miles of track, and now they can run between Boulder City, which is where the museum is, and Henderson, Nevada.
Okay.
Yes. The excursion train.
I have no idea where this is, but sure. Is it an excursion train, or is it like a commuter service?
It's an excursion train.
I get good.
Yarp.
I thought it was a commuter service. Disappointed.
Also, Kevon, best K4.
UTA is not getting the name change, according to this article.
Yeah, there was a huge poll.
Yeah, it was
Also, it was going to
poll.
cost, like, a stupid amount of money to repaint everything.
Stupid amount of money to put a sticker on an engine.
Hey, they're expensive stickers.
Yeah, the cost
But,
is $3.
They were going to change it to the Transit District of Utah, but what they should have done is they should have called it Salt Lake, Utah Transit.
Slick.
Why?
Oh,
Well, they
dang it.
shouldn't have changed the name at all
No,
and
he's
not
saying-
waste money.
Which they came up with.
Ride
Salt
the
Lake, Utah Transit, yeah.
Ride the sled.
Thanks, Ouija.
Yeah. 112-year-old, 120-year-old sawmill boiler has been fired up. I thought it was a steam locomotive
No,
boiler, but I guess not.
I mean,
Chum.
it's an engine.
Crumb.
It doesn't go anywhere. But it spins a wheel.
Just like 1309.
Hey! Ba-dum.
Speaking of being fired up, 425 is running. Yeah.
And San Francisco did what we did when we were first building the Horseman route in real life. They built 3.2 miles of track in the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction?
Okay, wrong kind of track.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's a
That is
feat.
not the same thing.
Yeah, it's two different
Okay,
things. What is
how
wrong?
do you-
Highway, they messed up bad. They had to fix it, and they're delayed now.
Good job. I'll be there in the summer.
Where do
Wait.
you get?
Go, San Fran.
Where do you get?
Forward speed.
Right.
Speed. Like that way.
I just crashed into something else.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
speaking of metros and subway systems, you can't because it's all sold out. But you could have taken a tour of an abandoned 120-year-old MBTA tunnel that was part of the U.S.'s first subway line, which was the Tremont Street Subway, which was built in the 1890s in Boston. It was, like I said, America's first subway line. It was technically a trolley tunnel connecting Scully Square, which those of you on the server might recognize that name, to Adams Square in the middle of what used to be called Cornhill Street. But you can get to the tunnel through the City Hall garage now and no other way, because it's been closed off since the early 60s. Also, if you don't know where Scully Square is, but you have played Fallout 4, you might know it by another name. It's called Good Neighbor.
Hey.
Yeah, anyway, there are these tours. They are full. There are videos of them on YouTube now because they happened a little while ago. And there should ideally be more, considering they sold out in literally minutes after announcing them. So that is something that I would love to go on if I got the opportunity. I've stared down sort of some ends of those tunnels in Boylston, there are tunnels that run off into nowhere, basically, because they're not in service anymore. It's that same system. But yeah, the Boston supports the U.S.'s oldest subway tunnel, and that is it. So, anyway.
I got a quickie
What?
update. Someone for trains is making the WPGF64 and the SPGF2.
Oh man, wouldn't
just
that have
regular
been
GF6.
useful 3 years ago?
Yeah, that would have been useful a few years ago.
Why?
Because Eric, the Horseman character, was originally supposed to be a
Oh.
Western Pacific GS64.
And then twins.
But yeah, but we made him the Nightlight. The Moonlight.
Anyways, that's just my
Awesome.
quick
Yeah.
update on that.
That's cool. You want to talk about some other Steam stuff?
I mean, what happened? It's in Steam, but we walk on it.
What?
It's called the
What?
floor.
It's not Steam, but you walk on it.
I don't know. I'm tired. It's called
Water?
the floor. We don't walk on water.
You don't.
Maybe you don't.
Anyway. Wait, what? I've been...
Alright,
Wait a minute.
let's move on to something else, because Dean has
Okay,
lost
so
his
I'm
mind.
getting through
Okay,
this.
speaking of steam locomotives running,
Yeah.
Steam is back at the Texas State Railroad this weekend, Memorial Day, May 26th. Not Memorial Day, but May 26th. Texas State Railroad will start running their steam locomotives again. I believe
That is Memorial
30
Day
will be
weekend.
running. 28 is going to be running. I saw pictures of it. They haven't announced anything, but I have insiders.
Ooh.
And they'll be pulling out TMP number 610
Ooh.
and other notable steam locomotives they have, which I'm pretty sure all of the rest are in pieces right now.
Well, at least they've got one that's not,
Oh, whoops.
in little bits.
Didn't mean to send that there.
Oh,
And if you are in the Texas area this Memorial Day weekend, this Friday and Saturday is 24 hours at Saginaw. You can come home
Timber?
and watch trains for 24 hours in Saginaw, Texas.
Nice.
Are you sure it's not in Polson?
Yes.
Well, Polson was the name of the company.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's, they're the
Well-
same place in my head now. This has ruined it for me.
It seems people don't like watching trains. Residents are
Wrong.
fed up with trains blocking the roadway in Woodhaven.
I don't think that has to do with watching trains. I think that has to do with you can't get to work.
Yeah, but you're still watching your train is right there. Injured man stuck a train tracks and ambulance for 20 minutes. Holy crap.
Oh
I mean,
my
this
god.
is... One needs to say he did... Oh.
Yeah, he died
Oh,
Ooh.
F.
in the ambulance.
That's bad.
that's tough.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
not
it's-
go. Don't park trains on the crossing. I mean,
Yeah,
if you need a donut, pull past the crossing, then go get it.
yeah, walk back and get it. Just... Something Murphy's Law, you know?
Is that Murphy's Law of Donuts?
Yeah, it's
No,
Dunkie's
it's...
law.
it's
Donkey's Law.
Donkey's Law!
We got one in Parker now, and
What?
I am mad at the East.
Why are you mad at it? Go get some donkeys.
What a
don't want
Donkey's
Donkey.
Yes,
Law.
you do.
I don't,
Honestly, I hate donuts. Can't stand
and
them.
I hate you now.
They're just
Says the guy
messy
who
and
refuses to go
sugary.
to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
well,
because
they're-
Krispy Kreme is vastly superior.
Okay, yeah, okay. But you're
Krispy
spoiled.
Kreme is garbage.
No, that's incorrect. You're spoiled because
yes,
you
it is.
have
That's
Krispy
your
Kreme.
podcast.
No, Krispy Kreme is the best. However,
No, it has
I don't
a
have
bad
one in my
aftertaste.
state, and I don't know where the nearest one is.
Have terrible aftertaste. Like
That's why you need another
In-N-Out
one.
and we have In-N-Out and Krispy Kreme down here. It's awful.
I mean, nobody's making you go there.
The donut podcast.
You have no
Nobody's shoving the food in your mouth, Kevon. You can
When-
choose
oh,
to eat
I-
other
I-
things,
to eat, I will eat it, but
but you don't
Yeah.
have to. You're making that choice.
yeah.
Yeah. Finally, the scroll of truth.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Aha!
Truth.
So,
Immigrant.
probably the biggest piece of overall railroad news this week. There's big news relating to a bunch of local projects. This one is a big national and also international thing. And that is after GE was it last year that they announced they wanted to close their transportation division?
yep. For the
Yeah.
unlucky
Last year
time.
for Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
GE has announced, Wabtec has announced that they will first be merging with GE's transportation division and then buying it out.
If
I
this
don't know why they're doing it in that order.
If this means that all GVOs will then come with Wabco horns, I am so excited.
No.
That would be
Kavan's just
that would
so
be
against this.
the best thing that could possibly come out of this
You-
merger.
You have never heard.
Wabco E2s again.
You haven't heard GE's horns.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I have heard them. I
No,
would
you
rather
haven't
hear
heard the-
Wabcos.
You have never heard the Tier 4 demo unit horn.
I'm okay.
It is awful.
Then,
and it
then
has
good.
two
Then
different
you replace it with a
Get
Wabco.
rid of it. Replace it with an E2.
No,
Yes.
I want to
the-
hear the air-driven Vuvuzela again.
Give me
Vuvuzela.
that single chime.
God, I love those single chimes. But they
They're wonderful. But this is a big deal because this is a $2.9 billion buyout
Ooh.
for Wabtec to buy out the GE Transportation Division. There's no announcement yet as to whether or not Wabtec will continue to manufacture locomotives. I assume they will because that's kind of why you would buy GE's Transportation Division.
They make locomotives
They
right
want
now.
it so they can own the trademark and charge other people money for it.
Probably.
No, they make
Um,
locomotives. What are you talking about?
Wabtec?
Yes.
What do they make?
Westinghouse.
Have-
but
okay,
wow.
the
They make air
Texrail,
brakes.
the Texrail locomotive. Okay, they've made the what is it called?
RS3.
They made the new
Oh,
the
yeah,
stat
the
records.
Alco? That's what that... Is this charades?
They make blah 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 blah.
They made-
I was thinking the same thing.
They made the MP, the MP locomotives.
Ew.
Those are all Wabco,
Ew.
Wabtec.
I don't like them anymore.
Ew.
The P32 successor or whatever. This thing, that's Wabtec.
The bright
The one
purple
that's like
nosed.
sort of looks like it's melting.
Yes,
The purple people eater.
that's a
Oh
Wabtec
no, not
locomotive.
this. This I know this ugly thing. The
Yeah.
hyperthermic bee.
Yes, I forgot that's what it is.
What?
It's the
I
hypothermic
forgot
bee.
about that. This is the hypothermic bee.
I'm showing it to the audience. There we go. And then this thing, is this the melty one? No, this is not the melty one.
What is the melty one?
I don't know. I think it's Siemens.
Melting.
North Star thing.
Anyway, though, that's pretty big news. Just because it's not a monopoly, and in fact, it keeps us a little bit further away from a monopoly because it strikes down the potential deal that they're thinking about with Bombardier, which would be more than
Oh, we want EMD and GE to merge.
No, we don't.
That's also a monopoly, just on a different,
Illegal
just on a
monopoly.
different market.
No, one's in Mexico, one's they'll both be in Mexico.
They won't.
It's
That
not
doesn't make
illegal
anything
in
better.
Mexico. It's not illegal in Mexico.
Diddle.
Mexico have antitrust laws.
I don't know, but it.
Also, that's not true. GE is made in PA.
No,
Really?
EMD is made in Mexico. That's what I'm.
I didn't
Yeah,
say
no, you-
EMD wasn't made in Mexico. I said
Dumbest
GE's
argument
made
in
in
the
the
world.
U.S.
No, GE's made in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes.
and
we-
PA.
No,
and
they're
Fort
no
Worth,
longer
Texas
in PA.
is
In America, but you said PA. They're not made in PA anymore.
they're made
That
in
closed
Erie,
down.
PA.
No, that closed down
When,
for the Fort
when
Worth.
did that close down?
I think we were
It closed
recording
down like a
it
few
on
months
this.
I
ago.
think.
Oh,
Or like-
okay. But GE's been shutting everything down because they've been getting rid of everything piece by piece.
Yeah, because they're being bought out by Wabtec.
Hey, it's one of those friendly buyouts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a merger and then a buyout, so I don't know.
Something legal is going on here. I don't know what it is. Not like something illegal, not something legal like law-abiding, like something that has to do with contracts is probably happening that I don't understand. Anyway, so...
Also, the Cumbrace Voltec just rolled out a new passenger car.
Yeah, congratulations for them. Can we buy it for free?
Yeah, they work on one.
No, don't it's a very cool car. It's in mostly historic condition now. They have to re-letter it, and then they have to get trucks for it, but...
So it's not a passenger car yet, it's a building.
It's a building.
Well, no, it's on freight trucks. They ran it.
Oh, okay.
It's on tech ones, actually.
Oh, they made these things?
It's on something.
But from what I've heard...
If it has wheels, it's good enough.
Currently, they have our patterns for JNS 5-foot wheelbase passenger car trucks. So
hopefully they'll use them?
They're making trucks.
Well,
I assume they're using them.
I don't know. They might be eating dinner off them or something. I don't know. Anyway,
do that. Yep.
Would you like to talk about something unlikely? Something that is so mind-bogglingly bizarre in our modern era that I almost can't understand it.
I like the sound of this? Question mark?
That CSX is teaming up. CSX is teaming up with the Kentucky Steam Heritage Corp.
Spits coffee.
I don't like this already.
To help them get a 50-acre rail yard property to build a rail-based tourist and community development center. It's not much, but it's way more than you would ever think CSX would do with Steam, ever, knowing their history. CSX has moved past the "I'm not touching that" phase, and onto a new stage of development that could, someday, in our not-so-distant future, in our lifetimes, yield a CSX Steam and Heritage program. After it was ruined 3 decades ago by Ross Roland. Not to name any names.
Not to name names, but Ross Roland. As you do.
But the entirety of CSX management basically has changed since that incident, and so they're warming up to the idea of doing this again. They probably realize that I was going to say the public eye, but it's really not the public eye. It's like the eye of the foamers. In the eye of the foamers, they're not, the most beloved railroad company when it comes to having heritage equipment. And
of course not.
Real
quick, sorry to interrupt, but I do have to go.
Oh, no.
Termination, kick Kevon from the call for Krispy Kreme and In-N-Out hatred.
Unfortunately. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I mean, we can just give him a point for that. We'll just give Kevon a point for that.
Yeah.
Why did I get a point?
Because you don't like Krispy Kreme?
That's not point worthy.
It is.
I just don't like donuts.
Because it is.
That's a bias.
Yeah, it is.
How is that a bias?
What?
It is biased, but...
I should give you a point.
How is it a bias?
It is a bias. I'll fully admit it's a bias. I can admit when I'm biased. Krispy Kreme is the greatest donuts on the face of the earth. Anyway.
Wow, rude.
So,
that's what I need to say.
So, Milky.
Yep.
What's your favorite thing for people to do to old rail lines?
Oh boy. Favorite thing to do when people...
Favorite thing that people do with old rail lines?
3 words.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm talking about rails to trails. However...
Oh yeah.
In this case...
Oh yeah, the trail fuckers.
There is the Burlington Bike Path, which was built on a railroad right-of-way after God knows how long of not using it. And now, only a month ago, crews cleared trees and brush to make way for 1,200
Oh yeah, I
new
was reading
feet
this.
of Vermont railway track alongside the path. So,
Good.
and it isn't even for a specific purpose. In fact, the vice president has said, of the company has said, it just gives us more working room. There's no formal plan, we just wanted to get the track back. So they might be using it to, to store tank cars, or just to store cars in general, but...
Or just prepare for the future to store cars.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere, but it's, a good quarter mile of track that they can use for whatever they want. So,
Good.
it's fun to see construction, and...
Yep. Trails to rails.
Yeah, it's also... I mean, it's not trails to rails, they're just building it next to it. However, it's fun to see reconstruction, such as restoration. In fact, I might be going to see this little guy this coming weekend up in Portland, Maine. Maine narrow gauge, or I don't know what the actual... I think it's Bridgeton and Saco.
River?
Yeah, Saco River Railroad, number 7.
It's adorable, William.
Which is a 244 Forney, is returning to operation at the Maine narrow gauge, along with 044 Forney number 3, which was being borrowed by the Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes Railroad up in Phillips, Maine. And now it has been brought back to Portland, and the two of them are going to be running side by side. They're going to be running together on the weekend, this upcoming weekend, and I might make the day trip to go up there and take a ride. I'll drag TJ and Madison, throw them in the car, and go, we're going to Maine.
Why? Cause
Yeah, they've been working on this one for quite a while, and I've been seeing the photos of it being restored, but great to see it operating now.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have foam and take a bunch of pictures, and,
Yep.
Fluff.
Yeah.
Foam.
How? What?
What?
Just looking at the rails to trails, like, why?
I don't know, they wanted 1,200 feet of track, so they built 1,200 feet of track.
No, but there's trails that are 279.5 miles long, 239.5 miles long, 219.
Yeah, there's some very excessive trails.
I mean, if you want to buy... my friend of mine, or a friend of my mom's, really, biked cross-country, like a couple of years ago. Literally coast to coast. Now that's a lot of biking. It took them 3 months. But one of the trails that they went on, they talked to me about this because I brought it up to them, is the Rutland Causeway out over Lake Champlain. And I was like, well, there's one, They've also got a whole infrastructure in New York State, which is the Mohawk and Hudson Bikeway, which you can get to pretty much every end of the state with that.
Ain't has a runaway on his hands.
No, he's doing okay for now. Mostly.
There he is.
I know how you could get to most places by a trail. The Milwaukee Road. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I think if the Milwaukee Road had a rail to trail.
It does, doesn't it?
I think most of the Pacific Extension is a trail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they just abandoned it.
What they
Yeah,
should
they
do.
said, we have this great rail line that has this great thing called electrification. It's the one of the steep grades in the Rockies. Abandon that shit.
We don't need that.
Do you know what they should do?
Bring
Instead
it
of
back.
making it rails to trails, because everybody uses their bike, right?
Yeah.
Keep the rails. Give everybody a flat car, and then have a
No,
mount
give everyone
so they
a
can
hand
move
car.
it with their bike.
No,
So
give
you're, like, riding
everyone
your bike when you're
mugs.
pushing the car.
Give
We
everyone
want a
mudge.
mudge car. That's gonna go so well.
No, everyone needs one of those pedal carts that they have on Newport.
Exactly. Oh my God! Think if somebody came up with that idea. That's going to be new. Amtrak's new idea.
Amtrak's
Everybody
solution
has
for
to
long distance
pedal.
railroading.
Exactly.
All right, let's go bring this up to the head of Amtrak and tell him.
He might think it's a great idea and hire me. I need a job.
You need a job before your railroad goes out of business.
Well, I wanted to work at GE, and that's not happening.
F.
Oh,
Well, you could work at Webco.
Yeah, that's true.
And make Wabco E2s. People love those, apparently.
or Westinghouse air brakes. I know a few people that use those.
I don't know anybody who uses them. I'm gonna go up to Maine where they frown on them.
Hand brakes are bust.
No vacuum brakes are bust.
Where are they? British?
They are
Yep.
down east, is what you would call it.
So they're British.
Nope. They
Freaking
have
brakes.
they have their patented automatic vacuum brake system thing that they're going to be installing on everything. It is bizarre, but if you ever come up this way, I'm sure the people there will talk your ear off about it because they're very passionate about their weird brake system. Anyway,
Oh,
now on the
I messed up.
what?
It's okay. I didn't mess up.
Okay.
I fixed it.
Well, this is a unfortunate news. Speaking of Rails to Trails, the railroad that survived its bout with Rails to Trails, the Saratoga and North Creek, has begun removing equipment from its property and expects to be gone within a month. It has removed the stored cars and it's removing its equipment. It is no longer. It was no longer financially possible to operate the railroad under Iowa Pacific, and it is and they missed some lease payments and fell behind on property taxes. Didn't make federal tax payments.
Yep.
IRS filed over $1 million lien against the Iowa Pacific for not paying their taxes and fees, and it is the Saratoga and North Creek from everything from the freight service that they needed that never materialized, and the
BL2 too.
yeah, the bouts with everything, the crashing an engine and leaving it there for a week. Everything has become too much for the Saratoga and North Creek, and they have closed down. And we do not know what the future is uncertain for the track.
Well, they do hope to find a new operator.
Yeah, they hope to find a new operator. Hopefully that will happen. There are people that are looking at it, but we shall see. We shall see. It is going to be a long, difficult road for the Saratoga and North Creek, especially considering everything they've been through to this point. But hopefully we get something good out on the other side, because it is a beautiful area out there.
It's freaking Iowa Pacific. They don't know how to run a railroad.
No, they don't. Even the G&W knows how to run a railroad better than they do.
Well, because G&W owns everything.
GW owns multiple
They don't own
countries.
everything.
They
They
do.
don't own the Albany and Eastern.
Yeah,
That's private deal.
Now, they better not touch my Fort Worth and Western. Actually, no. I learned today, or no,
Oh,
a
no.
week ago, that G&W offered to buy Fort Worth and Western, and the guy was like, nah, I'm good.
They
I was
offered
like,
to buy everything at one point.
Yeah, when your business is up, it's just like, yeah, I don't need
Like,
to
at
sell
one
it
point-
anymore.
At one point, they wanted to merge with the Port of Tillamook Bay, but that never happened.
well, have we got
This was
anything?
back in 2000.
Have we got anything else here? Because we can move out of this and onto latest train and the housekeeping that I have to do.
A Six Flags locomotive caught on fire in front of people.
Not even a steam engine, just a fake steam engine.
Yep.
Just caught on fire.
Big steam engine. Finally boxed its fire. I don't know.
All right.
Loud pops could be heard from the locomotive.
Yeah, that's what happens when it's on fire. That's what happens when things are on fire.
Pops. You mean explosions?
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. That means it's time for latest train on Amtrak. So
Okay, I'm going to go with my guns, as I always do. Northbound Coast Starlight.
Okay. Mookie says
14.
Northbound Coast Starlight.
I know it's between two.
Yeah, don't look at the map.
What?
I'm not looking at the map. I'm downloading stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Don't try to do like O'Gillies where he tried to cheat and still got it wrong.
I wasn't. Well, I could get it wrong because it could have changed. Because I was trying to go Railfan earlier, and I was just like, "Oh, the train hasn't left yet." So
Okay. All right. Well, what's your answer?
Either the
You gotta pick
west. It's either westbound Empire Builder.
East-westbound.
All right.
Westbound
Westbound Empire
nowhere.
Builder. All right, Dean. What's yours?
I say the eastbound Empire Builder.
All right. The eastbound Empire Builder. Empire Builder Chicago is 1 hour 29 minutes late at Wolf Point, Montana. The
Bollocks.
westbound Empire Builder is 3 hours and 21 minutes late at Harv, Montana.
Bollocks.
Yes.
The northbound Coast Starlight is 26 minutes late at Paso Robles, California.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
And the winner, I guess you could call it, is the eastbound Sunset Limited.
Oh,
Damn.
4 hours and 20 minutes late at Lake Charles, Louisiana.
waves.
Oh.
I could have. God damn it! I should have guessed that. I should guess Texas things next time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Either that or how late is the Heartland Flyer?
Heartland
'Cause I know
Flyer is
that
1
was
hour and 10 minutes late.
That's
not
late
bad.
for a regional.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The Heartland Flyer gets a black designation when it gets over like 30 minutes late.
Same with the Cascades.
Yeah. All right, now let's see. Let's see what the latest. Just while we're here, the latest Acela looks to be. Is it that one or is it this one? I know it's a 15-minute late Acela, almost in Boston. It's in New London, Connecticut. It's 15 minutes late. It's currently traveling 90 miles an hour.
At least it's 25 seconds early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be the worst. All right,
That'd
so
be a tragedy.
let me cover everything. Unfortunately, Weibel isn't here to hear this, so I'm gonna have to give him the briefing separately. But this is as much for you guys, although everyone here except for Kavan has heard it now, as it is for the audience, because the audience needs to be kept updated as to what's going on. So this is going to be filmed on Saturday evenings as regularly as I can make it. Every other week, ideally. I'm going to be working Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day plus commuting time. So Mondays I'll be able to come home and do the building podcast. Tuesdays I'm either going to be making Locomotion with Madison or I'm going to be making Train Fever, depending on if I can get a hold of her. Wednesdays I'm going to let lie, just not going to touch. I'm going to just have that as a day I can set aside. Thursdays are going to be under construction, but that's going to have to process overnight. I'll make Zombie Train on Friday, release both those videos on Friday. And then Saturday evenings or afternoons, we'll be making either the podcast or Sunday driving, depending on which week it is. So Sunday driving is going to be on the off weeks. And then Sunday itself, I'm going to be posting whichever video came out, and that's going to be Horseman Day. And the bonus thing that hopefully will go along with Horseman Day, if we can get into a rhythm with it, because it will be on a weekend now, before it was on Friday, if we can get into a rhythm with it, what would be nice is if we can have a little recap video at the end of every Sunday to post saying, this is what we got done. Just to show everybody that, hey, we're not dead. So, that's going to be the upcoming schedule by the looks. Building podcast, Transport Fever, or Locomotion, depending. And then Zombie Train and Under Construction on Fridays, and then podcast and podcast or Sunday Driving come on Sundays. So, that's what I hope to do. And that is, it's a little bit ambitious, but I have a much more rigid schedule now than I did during my last semester. And the timing makes things a whole lot easier, believe it or not. So, anyway, we have reached the end of the line here, and Kavan is going to go first.
Q2 wins again.
Okay.
Again.
And then Weibold, no points saying, kicks Kavan from call for Krispy Kreme and In-N-Out. I'm personally not in the In-N-Out camp. I would like to plug something really funny. In the spirit of Donkey Kong Country, it's a little video game about the New York City subway, where you pilot a subway car and you have to avoid things like broken rail and stopped trains and
Man, it's
fires.
just like actual subway system.
Exactly. And then Dean.
Spirits, what is the M word?
God damn it. Alright, and then Milky.
What I've got to show is a video of reenactment of SP's Sacramento Daylight, done for Gary Persuaso's 70th birthday, or 75th birthday, on the Niles Canyon.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this podcast, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.